Yeah, white rice, not brown. Brown rice is bad for you.
God, it's like the complete opposite of everything that we learned.
We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded.
Middle of the desert that is impossible to sink in. This is in Siwa, Egypt.
Hey yo, we're back at it again. In today's compilation, we'll be looking at some videos that has the internet at a standstill. Let's get it.
The monkeypox is already here in the United States. They found it 3 days ago in San Francisco's wastewater, and the spread of monkeypox is now being categorized as a global health emergency. For those of you who didn't know, monkeypox is a virus that is spread through close skin-to-skin contact, which means we ain't shaking hands no more. Keep your hands to yourself. Here are some of the symptoms associated with monkeypox. So it starts out with a fever, very low energy, swollen lymph nodes, as well as body aches. Also, within 3 days, a rash and sores develop like throughout several parts of the body. The rashes can look like pimples or blisters that are painful and itchy to the touch. And although you didn't ask, I'm gonna tell you how they test, okay? They put a swab up your behind. A swab up your. Also, according to the World Health Organization, alcohol-based hand sanitizers and alcohol-based cleaning products can effectively inactivate the monkeypox virus. So when you go to the grocery store, carry your little Clorox wipes. Disinfect that shit. When you go to the gas station, disinfect, disinfect, disinfect. Carry your hand sanitizer, carry your Clorox wipes. Please y'all stay safe, limit contact, and clean your hands often.
At least we wanted to wear a mask, but we may need like 3 or 4 layers of clothes just in case someone accidentally gives an elbow bump. I might need my snow jacket for this one.
This one sculpture has a code that the CIA can't even crack. Outside of the CIA headquarters in Virginia, there is a sculpture known as Kryptos. And this sculpture has been there since November 3rd, 1990. And the artist, known as Jim Sanborn, left a coded message for people to crack. But the thing is, the sculpture's been there for now 31 years and nobody's been able to figure it out. You see, there's 4 different hidden messages of the sculpture. 3 have been figured out, but the last one, nobody knows how to solve. And Sanborn has stated that the answer to figure out the 4th passage are hidden throughout the 3 other passages. And Sanborn has stated to figure out the 4th passage, you must delve into a particular clock. And to me, I have no idea what that means. But if you want to test your luck and figure out the code, just look up Kryptos 4th message and you can try it there.
It's been over 3 decades and the CIA has not been able to solve Kryptos 4. This sculpture encryption seems to be on a whole different level. You and I may have a better chance solving the Rubik's Cube under a minute.
Billions of people's social security numbers may be on the dark web right now.
In a lawsuit, a hacking group claims to have stolen personal records of nearly 3 billion people from the National Public Database that offers personal information to employers and private investigators who are doing background checks. So obviously very concerning. Bill Buddington with the Electronic Frontier Foundation joins us right now. So Bill, welcome. And look, I mean, you work for an international nonprofit that promotes digital rights. So first question here, do you think that the hackers stole all that information? Do you think they have it?
Well, early indicators show that the information does look legitimate. It's not completely clean information, so that some of the social security numbers they have might not be your real social security number, but a lot of the data looks legitimate, and it does include social security numbers, addresses, phone numbers, and a whole slew of information.
Yeah, again, that is very sensitive information, you know, obviously very concerning. So how could this impact people who might be watching right now?
Yeah, so if this information is disclosed, and it looks like it's being disclosed, it means that a malicious actor could, glean information on you to open new lines of credit, to impersonate you, attacks on your identity and identity theft. And so really taking some precautions is prudent right now.
So, I mean, to that point, I mean, you know, those 9 digits are unique to you. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, if you think it might be out there, if you don't know it's out there, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah, so you can call your bank account and put locks on your account. A lot of bank accounts offer, you to put a password or a special passphrase onto that account before any special changes happen. Monitoring your lines of credit, just looking at your bank accounts, making sure that there's nothing suspicious that's going on, that can go a long way. And, just kind of looking at all your accounts and paying attention to when you get emails that say there's a login that's happening that you didn't do.
Okay. Well, obviously,
I would think the national public data had security firewalls in place that was close to being unbeatable. This is making the 2021 Facebook hack look like child's play.
Proof that Balenciaga turned their models into a mannequin. This Balenciaga mannequin was a real person. There is a theory that Balenciaga has been turning real-life models into mannequins to be used in their stores. Well, you'll see. There was this model for Balenciaga named Christopher G., who was well known in the industry and posed for many different Balenciaga campaigns. But one day he mysteriously vanished, with his family and friends not knowing where he went. Interestingly enough, just around the time he disappeared, a lifelike mannequin showed up at one of Balenciaga's flagship stores. And if you take a closer look at the mannequin, it looks exactly like Christopher G. With everything that's been going on behind the scenes with Balenciaga, is it possible that they actually turned their model into a mannequin?
Those mannequins are looking way too realistic. I thought the purpose of mannequins was to display clothes rather than showing how realistic their fingernails, earlobes, and forehead creases are. I'm not sure about y'all, but this is giving me the House of Wax vibes.
So yeah, guys, I think it's pretty obvious now that they are trying to open a portal at CERN. Is it to hell? I don't know. But definitely somewhere. I mean, Nike seems to think so. Let's watch Nike's new commercial about CERN. Yeah. So this commercial not so subtly starts off in Geneva, Switzerland, the location of CERN. And we have two pretend scientists, much like the actual pretend scientists over at CERN, argue about who's a better soccer player, or football player as the world calls it. And yeah, hijinks ensue as they open up portals to the past in the multiverse of football or something. Yeah, just watch this. Yeah, we get cloned players, we get a cartoon player who turns into a demon. That's interesting. And yeah, so what is going on? This is science, right? We're the crazy ones. Yeah.
Perhaps Nike has an intention of creating a clone soccer league, because to me, that's the only logical reason why scientists is going to be involved. I see they got Kylian Mbappe as the captain. All they're missing is Kodak Black, Ye, and NBA Youngboy to fill the roster.
Cloning has already started.
It has already started?
Back in the day, it used to cost $50,000. Who knows how much it costs now? If you ever notice a rapper first, everything's fine. Then something goes wrong. They get out of line. They end up in jail. They come back looking totally different. And it's up to us if we're going to let them play in our face, or if we're going to go, that ain't him. And then speaking of they cloned Tyrone, isn't Jamie Foxx part of that?
He came out looking, they were like, where's the tattoo?
Where's his tattoo on the back of his head?
They showed a picture of him.
He was in like McDonald's or Wendy's or some damn where. It looked like the clone was just testing itself out. Like, yeah, all right, I'm out. Let's see what's going on. I'm happy to be in the world. It seemed like the clone was literally testing himself out. But my thing is, where was the tattoo on the back of his head? And it just makes you wonder, like...
The cloning team created a Jamie Foxx lookalike and left out a key element. They could have at least scribbled something identical at the back of his head with a black Sharpie. This is giving Day Clone Tyrone a whole new meaning. The cat is out of the bag now. Hey, let me know what you guys think about this, but if this is true, a discovery like this gives validity to giants and Nephilim's existence. But with a sword like this, you need a whole village to carry it.
This parking garage at a Haifa hospital can normally fit 1,500 vehicles in a time of peace. But this is not peacetime. This is now the world's largest underground hospital, and it is a mirror of everything you have in an above-ground hospital, including dialysis centers. They have pediatrics and oncology, a level 1 trauma center, and 24 operating bays. It is protected by 7,000 tons of steel, and the goal here is to have somewhere to treat people if Haifa comes under direct rocket attack, or even chemical or biological weapons attack. This facility can exist completely cut off from the rest of the world for up to 3 days with its own oxygen supply and everything they need here, including food and water. And the goal here is to make sure that they have a facility that will treat the wounded from the front lines if this war expands to include Hezbollah in Lebanon.
To be the largest underground hospital, but yet only have resources that can last you up to 3 days, doesn't seem adequate. But to me, this looks like a high-level underground bunker. Mark Zuckerberg can definitely take some pointers.
We're going to lose 30 or 40 seats. What? They didn't know what they were talking about. We know we're different from the president. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win. Others are winning the whole country. 10.
This looks realistic, and if it is, looks like Pelosi got real passionate and said the quiet part out loud. But I don't think the media crew was expecting that. If they had a hunch she would go on that rant, they would have cut off a mic ASAP.
A woman captured a pretty incredible video of what looks like 7 suns in the sky. Now this can mean one of two things. Either it's refraction and scattering light, or we got an apocalypse on our hands.
There's either a religious meaning to it or just an example of sundogs. Either way, a picture of this phenomenon is one for the books. I don't think Picasso can replicate this imagery.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Calling that the devil. She ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
Half of which dumbass. Nobody want to accept that bitch.
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats. A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. Snacking on his bitch, killing people cats. They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician and she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough because she just started all the girls. Impulse control issues? I don't know.
Beyonce is so far down the dark side, she would need a ladder as tall as from here to the moon to get out of it.
Demons like to possess human bodies and feel sin. One of the ways they identify with each other is they put a butterfly tattoo because to a butterfly evolves from a caterpillar. So when these demons possess these humans, all of a sudden they have an urge to get a butterfly tattoo. It's like the most common tattoo in America. A butterfly tattoo. Why do all of a sudden people become whores and alcoholics and they want to get a butterfly tattoo? It's not just like women. I see it on guys too. I'm like, okay, I know you've been fucking doing some shit. So again, it's just one of those things in life when you know a lot about a lot, you can start observing.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to save some people a lot of headaches. You see someone with a butterfly tattoo, and I'm not saying it's 100%. So yes, you could be looking at this video and be like, oh yeah, Gary, no. Okay, you're the exception. But 99% of them, it's real.
I understand there's a ton of symbolisms out there, but to me, a butterfly tattoo is generally soft on the eyes.
There is a pool in the middle of the desert that is impossible to sink in. This is in Siwa, Egypt, where the water has some of the highest salt concentration in the world. But just to get here is quite the journey. I had to jump on this overnight bus at this bus station and ride it 12 hours from Cairo. I did see wild camels out the window, however, so that right there made the ride worth it. When I arrived, I was met by my guide Mohammed, and he first showed me to this ancient fortress which was built only by mud and water. After exploring for a while, we sat down for a traditional Egyptian lunch. We had soup, chicken, rice, and it was incredible and only $3 a person. Finally, it was time to make our way into the desert to find these magical pools.
This is all salt everywhere.
Muhammad was especially excited to show me this pool because he thinks that no one has ever swam in it before. Time to test it out.
I can't sink. I'm standing straight up.
Sure enough, it is impossible to sink. This is extra special for me because I'm 220 pounds and usually can't float very well, so I'm thoroughly enjoying what this feels like. It reminds me a lot of the Dead Sea, although this water seems more clear and more clean. But be careful not to get any of this water in your eyes. I jumped in here and made that mistake. It's so salty that it burns for quite a while. We ended this incredible day by going dune bashing in the desert. Muhammad then set up a blanket for us to watch sunset and made some fresh tea over an open fire. Days like this are why I love to travel. I made new friends and had incredible experiences that I will never forget.
With the level of salt concentration in that pool, I would have full confidence in entering the floating competition in the Olympics. But after watching this, see what Egypt is now on my bucket list.
Have you ever heard about Menugate?
No.
There was this TikToker, right? And his name was Cody. He lives in Atlanta. And he's in like an entire apartment, like kind of like complex.
Yeah.
And he walks out his building one day and he sees Chinese menus on each of the doors sticking out.
Yeah.
So he goes on about his day, goes back in. 3 days later, he goes out. The menus are still on every single door. So a week goes by, fam. There's supposedly 800 people in this apartment.
Yeah.
Why are all the menus still on the door? So he's like, what the f is going on? I'm gonna check down in the garage.
Yeah.
Goes down in the garage, sees that all the cars have a lot of dust on it.
Oh,
He's like, yesterday there wasn't no dust on the cars.
Yeah.
He starts posting some like the Dawson videos.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, look at what's happening in my thing. He's going live. Everybody tells him to pull a fire alarm. That's what will get people out. He searches, he goes to this random hallway, pulls it. And
Nobody goes out.
Nobody goes out.
So what is it?
I don't know what it is.
This is one building I would not be buying or renting an apartment from. I got a job to attend to and bills to pay. I can't afford to get stuck in the matrix.
Rice?
Yeah, white rice, not brown. Brown rice is bad for you.
God, it's like the complete opposite of everything that we learned.
That's because some guy in the 70s was like, because fiber.
Yeah.
Brown rice has a whole bunch of lectins, it shreds your gut, and it's got 80 times more arsenic than white rice. That's why every rice eating culture on the planet peels their rice unless you're too poor to peel your rice. So the fact that some kind of self-loathing long distance runner in the 70s told you to eat a whole bunch of fiber and whole foods, whatever that means, it doesn't work. That's what made me fat. I was also a raw vegan, by the way. Like I was a devout vegan.
You've done the whole thing.
Yeah, it gave me worse arthritis, it gave me more autoimmunity, it gave me terrible joint pain, I broke teeth. 80% of people who go vegan quit because it makes them sick and it can take years to recover. So don't do that.
It could be that back in the 70s, the arsenic level in the soil was a lot lower than now, and the farming chemicals used back then was a lot purer. But since then, the script probably got flipped ever since infamous Bill dropped Microsoft and became a farm boy. Alright y'all, so that's it for the episode. If you're stuck all the way through, I greatly appreciate it. Like this video, sub up. I will see you guys in the next one. But until then, peace and love.